You know, out in the wild, survival often comes down to one thing, being prepared. And when disaster strikes, when the world as we know it goes sideways, that same principle applies, only this time, your wild might be your own home. That's right, we're talking about bugging in. When the SHTF, hunkering down, fortifying your position and having enough resources to weather the storm can be the difference between surviving and, well, you know, we're talking about having enough food, water and supplies to last not just days but weeks, maybe even months. In this video, we're diving deep into the top 10 mistakes preppers make when it comes to bugging in. We'll explore the potential pitfalls and, more importantly, how to avoid them. So let's get to it. Your survival might depend on it. Water, the very lifeblood of our existence. We can go without food for a surprising amount of time, but water's a different story. Dehydration can set in quickly, impacting your ability to think clearly, make decisions, and ultimately survive. Now, when it comes to bugging in, many folks underestimate just how much water they'll need. Figure on at least a gallon per person per day for drinking and basic hygiene. And remember, we're talking about long-term situations here, not just a quick blackout. Storing water properly is crucial. Those flimsy plastic jugs you find at the supermarket, they're fine for a day or two, but for the long haul, you want something more robust. Think about investing in food-grade water storage containers. They're designed to keep your water safe and fresh for extended periods. And don't forget about purification. Even if your stored water looks clear, it could still harbor nasty bacteria or contaminants. A good water filter or purification tablets are essential for ensuring every sip you take is safe. Remember, in a survival situation, even a mild case of dysentery can turn deadly. Trust me, out in the wild, I've learned the hard way how quickly dehydration can take you down. Don't let it happen in your own home. Look, we've all heard the jokes about preppers hoarding beans and rice. And while those are certainly valuable, long-lasting staples, surviving on nothing but bland carbs will get old fast. Not to mention, it won't provide all the nutrients your body needs to stay strong and healthy. Building a diverse food stockpile is essential. Think about incorporating canned goods, protein sources like canned fish, jerky and nuts, and even some comfort foods to keep your spirits up. Remember, in a crisis, maintaining morale is just as important as meeting your physical needs. Consider your dietary needs and any allergies or sensitivities within your family. The last thing you want is for someone to have an allergic reaction in the middle of a disaster. Rotating your stock is crucial. Don't wait until your food is on the verge of expiring. Use it as part of your regular meals and replenish your supply regularly. Remember, a well-fed prepper is a prepared prepper. Your home should be your sanctuary, especially when the world outside is in chaos. But a sanctuary is only as strong as its weakest point. That's why fortifying your home against potential intruders is paramount. We're not talking about building a moat and drawbridge here, but some basic security measures can make a world of difference. Start with the obvious. Reinforce your doors and windows. A sturdy door frame and some well-placed deadbolts can deter even the most determined intruder. Windows are another vulnerable point. Consider installing security film or bars to make them tougher to breach. And don't forget about sliding glass doors. A simple dowel rod or a security bar can prevent them from being forced open. Think about your perimeter. Trim back any overgrown bushes or trees that could provide cover for someone trying to approach your home unseen. Exterior lighting is also key. A well-lit property is far less inviting to potential troublemakers. Remember, your goal is to make your home the least appealing target on the block. By taking these simple steps, you can significantly increase your chances of staying safe and secure. Chapter 4. Cleanliness is next to survival, maintaining hygiene in a crisis. Let's face it, surviving an SHTF event won't be pretty, but even in the midst of chaos, maintaining good hygiene is absolutely crucial. Remember, diseases and infections can spread like wildfire in unsanitary conditions. And trust me, you don't want to be battling dysentery when the world's gone mad. Having a plan for sanitation is non-negotiable. If the water's out, you'll need an alternative method for disposing of human waste. A simple bucket toilet system, using sawdust or kitty litter for composting, can be a lifesaver. Hand washing is paramount. Stock up on hand sanitizer, soap and disposable gloves. Remember, even if you're just handling supplies, maintaining good hygiene can prevent the spread of germs. Keep your living space as clean as possible. Regularly disinfect surfaces, especially in areas where food is prepared or consumed. A little bit of cleanliness can go a long way in preventing illness. Chapter 5. Beyond Band-Aids, building a comprehensive medical kit. A well-stocked medical kit is non-negotiable when it comes to prepping. But many folks make the mistake of just grabbing a pre-made kit from the store and calling it a day. While those kits are a good starting point, they often lack the comprehensive supplies you might need in a true SHTF scenario. First and foremost, learn basic first aid and CPR. Knowing how to control bleeding, treat burns, or even perform CPR could mean the difference between life and death for you or a loved one. Now let's talk supplies. Your kit should include a variety of bandages, antiseptics, pain relievers, and medications for common ailments like diarrhea and allergies. Don't forget about any prescription medications you or your family members rely on. Think beyond the basics. A suture kit, for example, might seem extreme, but in a grid-down situation, having the ability to stitch a wound could be invaluable. Remember, your medical kit is an investment in your health and well-being. Don't skimp on it. If you found this information helpful, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more prepping tips and advice. Chapter 6. Beating the elements, staying warm or cool when the grid goes down. Depending on where you live and the time of year, extreme temperatures can be just as dangerous as any other threat during an SHTF event. Hypothermia and heat stroke don't discriminate, and if you're not prepared, they can quickly turn deadly. If you live in a cold climate, having a reliable source of heat is essential. Firewood, propane heaters, and even those little hand warmers can make a world of difference. Just remember, always use these heat sources safely and with proper ventilation. In hot climates, staying cool is the priority. Battery-powered fans, light-colored clothing, and knowing how to create shade can help prevent heat stroke. And never underestimate the importance of hydration in hot weather. Consider alternative ways to cook if your stove is out of commission. A camp stove or even a simple fire pit can be lifesavers. Remember, being prepared for extreme temperatures is about more than just comfort. It's about survival. In a disaster, communication can be a lifeline. Knowing what's happening, being able to coordinate with loved ones, or even just calling for help, can be impossible without a reliable way to communicate. Relying solely on cell phones is a rookie mistake. When the grid goes down, cell towers often go with it. Having a backup plan is crucial. A handheld ham radio, for example, allows you to communicate over long distances without relying on traditional infrastructure. Walkie-talkies are great for short-range communication, especially within your own home or neighborhood. Establish a communication schedule with family or neighbors so you can check in regularly, even if it's just to let each other know you're safe. Don't forget about low-tech solutions. Signal mirrors, whistles, and even predetermined visual signals can be effective ways to communicate over short distances. Remember, in a crisis, communication can be the difference between chaos and order. Now, we've talked a lot about the physical aspects of prepping, but the mental game is just as important. When disaster strikes, it's not just about surviving the elements or potential threats, it's about surviving the mental and emotional toll. The stress of a crisis can be overwhelming. Fear, anxiety, and uncertainty can cloud your judgment and make it difficult to think clearly. That's why having coping mechanisms in place is essential. Meditation, deep breathing exercises, or even just taking a few moments for quiet reflection can help calm your nerves and bring clarity to your thoughts. Remember, a calm mind is a resilient mind. Don't underestimate the power of connection. Having a support system in place, whether it's family, friends, or a community of like-minded individuals, can provide invaluable emotional support during tough times. Look, we live in a world saturated with technology, and while these gadgets can be incredibly useful, they can also be our downfall in a grid-down scenario. Relying too heavily on technology that requires electricity or an internet connection is a recipe for disaster. What happens when your phone battery dies and you haven't charged your solar charger? What about when the GPS is down and you need to navigate the old-fashioned way? Having analog backups for essential tools is crucial. Think paper maps, compasses, and even a good old-fashioned watch. Learn how to use these tools effectively. Remember, the more self-reliant you are, the better equipped you'll be to handle whatever comes your way. Look, I'm not advocating for violence, but in a true SHTF situation, you might find yourself in a position where you need to defend yourself or your loved ones. Hoping for the best is not a strategy. Now, self-defense goes beyond just owning a firearm. While firearms can be an effective deterrent, they also come with a huge responsibility. If you choose to own a firearm, get proper training, learn how to use it safely and responsibly, and understand the legal implications. But remember, self-defense isn't always about firearms. Basic self-defense classes can equip you with the skills and confidence to handle a physical confrontation. And don't discount the effectiveness of simple tools like pepper spray or a personal alarm. Remember, the best way to survive a dangerous situation is to avoid it altogether. Be aware of your surroundings, trust your instincts, and don't be afraid to remove yourself from a potentially dangerous situation. If you found this information helpful, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. So there you have it, the top 10 bugging-in mistakes that could cost you dearly when the SHTF. Remember, being prepared is not about living in fear, it's about taking control of your destiny. By learning from these mistakes and taking proactive steps to address them, you're not just preparing for a potential disaster, you're investing in your peace of mind, because when you know you're prepared, you can face whatever challenges life throws your way with confidence. So get out there, get prepared, and remember, survival is an adventure. Embrace it.